Alrighty then. What is going on, everyone? We are live and alive in the 915. This is our Monday night online open mic presented by the Barbed Open Mic Series in El Paso, Texas. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC and host today. Welcome, welcome. We did have a little bit of a delay on the start. I apologize for that. It does take a while to gather poets and performers, as Kit said earlier. It's like wrangling cats, but most of us are here, so we're going to go ahead and start the live stream. I know that some of you guys have been waiting for a little while for us to start. So again, my name is Richie. I do run the open mic in El Paso. And so if some of you guys are an EPCC student looking for the download passport, a couple things so I can get you guys the code. But I'm going to ask a couple things. Just stick around, listen to the show for a little bit. We have a bunch of poets, performers, singers from time to time that come on and they'll be performing. People are joining us not only from El Paso, but from all around the country and sometimes the world. That's right. We get international. So listen, watch the show, and then and a couple performers I'm gonna leave in the live chat contact info, so you can email me with a little bit of just a review. What'd you think? Who did you enjoy? And then I'll reply with the Tejano passport code. So anyway, so if you are here waiting for that, I appreciate it. Also, if you are just here to like watch or for the code, you don't need to join the Zoom room with us. You can just go ahead and hang out with us in the live stream on YouTube. So obviously, if you're listening to me, you are in the right place. But of course, if you do want to hang out with us in the Zoom room, that's also welcome. Of course, it's like kind of hanging out backstage. We do kind of hang out a little bit before and after the show, but we're going to go ahead and, a couple things about the online mic. So if this is your first time tuning in, obviously, welcome. Great to have you here. We are part of a nonprofit in El Paso called BorderSenses, and we've been providing a stage for performers, especially writers and poets, since 2007. And in that time, we've had thousands of people take the stage and share their art, and that's a very beautiful thing. We're still going. To me, to be able to still say we're running in 2024, continuing onward. In fact, we've expanded to an online presence, and we've expanded to Las Cruces. So, a couple just quick announcements, and then we'll go ahead and get started. This is like any other open mic, except it is online. We do host the meeting through Zoom. Some of you guys probably have Zoom fatigue, but it's decent enough to work for us, But we do live stream on YouTube. So again, if this is your first time, you can actually catch past episodes all the way back to April of 2020 every single Monday. All right, that's hundreds of episodes. Like that's a lot of episodes. We have a backlog. You can go back, and if you just want to listen to it like a podcast while you're doing chores, cleaning, whatever, it's not a bad idea. On top of that, we do host other content like poets reading, kind of like a NPR Tiny Desk meets fun poetry. But for our region, and whenever we have guest people touring or passing by as well. Yeah, but it is like an online mic. If you do want to perform, we do have some room today. So if you do want to perform, if you want to read or share something, you do have to sign up. When you sign up, it lets me know that you're legit, and we'll see your name, and we can let you into the Zoom room. Where we're not as cautious about that. When strangers try and get into the Zoom room, we're like not sure. So yeah, if you do want to perform, if you want to hang out, just kind of fill out that sign up sheet. You can find it in the description of a YouTube video. We welcome poetry, original poetry, cover poems. So if you want to give a tribute or a shout out to like someone that you admire, you look up to in a literary sense, definitely read that. We don't want to go too long, okay? For each performer, a typical set is around 5 to 7 minutes. There is some wiggle room, so just kind of be aware though. If you go a little long, we may be trying to get your attention somehow. That's for performers, but again, also if you do want to join us, shout out to Sandy Land's in the house. Always good to see you. We did miss you last week, I think. Also shout out to Eliseo. Okay, I probably said your name wrong, but hopefully you heard my message about the Tejano passport. So just listen in, and a couple performers, I'll drop info how you can do that. Okay, so other things, in addition to being online, we do have in-person open mics. So tomorrow, Tuesday, the 23rd. So obviously, if you're watching this past the 23rd, this has been the past already, right? But the 23rd, if you guys are watching this live and are in the El Paso area, come hang out with us at Rosewood Bar in downtown El Paso. It's going to be our open mic. It is going to be a regular open mic. So if you want to perform anything, you can come and sign up. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. We are going to be featuring my friend Farbion, who is El Paso born, but he's been Brooklyn based for well over a decade now. He's got his family over there, and but he's a really cool dude. He does some interesting things musically. He's an educator, and he does a lot about like positive social change, and he does these really cool programs all around the globe. Like he gets to travel and teach hip hop and some of the technical stuff behind it as well. Yeah, so Far Beyond is in town because you got to visit home, right? And so he'll be our feature, and of course, regular open mic come through. That is Tuesday. Thursday, we're going to be at Old Sheepdog Brewery. That's right, the last Thursday of every month. We are always at Old Sheepdog. And this month, we are encouraging ekphrastic poems. There is an exhibit called Semillas, brought to you by Los Visionaries Art Collective. We had a big opening show July 7th, and it's been up all month. In fact, if you want to visit on Tuesday or Wednesday or even Thursday during the day, find a piece that inspires you and want to write a poem or two about it. We definitely encourage it. Of course, it is also just open to anything. It's an open mic. But more than that, it's going to be run by Kit Ren. It's going to be our host, who will also be reading today. So you'll get to get a little sneak preview of Kit and his criticisms and his style. But other than that, that is the week. We do have another ekphrastic poetry chance. If you like the idea, but it's like too soon, we do have. We're working with the Las Cruces Museums, an exhibit at the Brannigan Cultural Center by Angel Cabrales is currently up, and it's going to be up until September, I believe. We did a workshop also at the beginning of the month. If you have a chance, go check it out. Just look up the Brannigan Cultural Center in Las Cruces. It's called It Came From Beyond the Border. Angel Cabrales uses a lot of like sci-fi B movie type posters to sneak across these political images about perceptions and ideas about the border and a lot of the conversation that happens about borders and immigration. It really hits home. There's a lot of heavy stuff in there. Some that you have to go check it out yourself if you can. The other thing is we are going to have a reading in August at the Brannigan Cultural Center in that room, the Shannon room. So if you guys have more questions about that, you can just follow us on social media. I'm trying not to be too long with these commercials, but I do want to let you guys know what is going on because as someone who grew up in El Paso, I hate it when people say there's nothing to do here. And I just, first of all, if that were true, why don't you make something happen? Two, that's not true. Yeah, so there's always music, there's always art shows, there's always stuff going on. Anyway, open mics is just one of many multitude of like facets you can get into of original creators, people doing cool stuff and creating. So with that said, I know that was long. Hold on, let me mute this. That is me. All right. Okay. Other than that, yeah. Time for the open mic. As always, if you guys like something you hear, let us know. The poets, if you hear a line that you really love or connects with you in a certain way, really good feedback because like unlike a traditional show or like in-person show where someone's on stage and you can kind of see the audience online, it's kind of intangible. We don't know who's there. So when you guys are in the chat, it helps a lot. Oh yeah, shout out to Samuel Wilson. Good to see you again. Oh, man, I always feel good when you guys are in the chat saying hello to us. So, all right, let's go and kick things off. That's me talking, hopefully for as long as I will on the show. But we're gonna kick things off as we've done many, many times before. We're based in El Paso, but our friend Mike Sindler is in Denver, just a little north of here. He's the Beat Poet Laureate, Colorado, and it's just great to have him here with us. Like I've had it before, but when he misses, it does feel emptier. Anyway, can't have an open mic without a mic. In this case, Michael Sindler. When you're ready, Mike, happy Monday. Take it away.
Hey, Richie, great to be here. Good to see everybody. And also great to know there are people out there on YouTube, either live or later. And for everybody, I'm going to put up this thing for lighthousewriters.org, which is just a wonderful place, great resource for writers of any genre, any stage you're at in writing. And if you don't think you're a writer, you are. So well worth checking out. And I'm going to start with one that I'm not really sure what got me to this, but I wrote it. And it's called Red Sauce Cafe Dante El Dente. I can't make out the conversation at the table in the corner, but tone and volume tell a tale, lopsided communication. Pyrrhic power structure built on fear, faces etched from years of stress, one nearly exploding, one close to collapsing. Teary eyes, trauma frozen orbs, nearly empty, fragile, downturned vessels. Bulging neck backlash, veins, taut cords pulsing through stretch reddened skin, signaled rage, hints at threat of violence, response a wince, mouth pursed, alert, perhaps expecting slap right here in public. I fight automatic urge to butt into situation, knowing interjection could flare and ripple, not wanting to add fuel to flame, cause barely a suppressed fire to flash out, add kindling to wrath, best hope ash settles. Plates shoved to center, jackets donned, cash laid over check, a few crumpled bills, pile of assorted change, probably paltry tip. Chairs scrape across floor as they rise. Fear follows fury out onto rain-washed sidewalk. Last peek at pair through fogged window pane. They board the downtown local bus. Exhaust gust, exit curtain. Next stop, perdition. So that was cheery. And I also just wrote this just because it's sort of how I'm feeling right now. It's called My Place. The urge to give in to despair only underlines the need to share hope. It is not my place to cast a pall. It is not my place to tear down. It is my place to show love. I am breathing deeply. I'm drawing in energy. I am finding direction. This fragile world needs more compassion. Let me help fill that void. Let me help build a bridge. And last, I'm going to end with a Sinru, I guess you would say, called Camelot. Female president, it may be now or never. I am behind her. And so now I'm going to go ahead and put on the hat. And while we're doing stuff that's political, I spent years and years and years in Columbia, South Carolina. And for most of those years, the Confederate flag flew above the State House. And then Nikki Haley made a big deal about taking it off of there, but she stuck it in front of the State House instead, right by the street. So this wonderful woman actually got up there, took that flag down and burned it. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so this is by a poet named Junius Ward, and it's called Southern Cross, 30 feet high for Bree Newsom. Waving in our faces, preening where it ought not, puffed up with pride and planted in so-called holy ground, as if we are not worthy to approach. Snatch those old Dixie stars, Bree, clawing thing from a rent sky. Obama said this bit of cloth belongs in a museum. You held history in your hands like a living thing, choking. Those Confederates shrilled, rebel, yelled, vandal, heritage not hated you like emancipation wasn't a business decision, like slave states didn't lose the war and throw blood in the sky like a public hanging for 150 years the way a victor does. Rewrite the kingdom, desecrate the flesh, swallow. Those Galileans gouge a mouth and don't expect the speech to be shocking. The museum is torn away. I imagine what you saw, raised up like a crystal stair. Something new, the congregation awestruck, an easier God's sight without heritage to block the view. Your own image coming on a cloud stretched to a flagging star. And I'm glad to say I had several friends who were there at the moment that happened, and it still resonates with them and always will. And I'm going to do one more short one by one of the less known beat poets. I've done one of his here before. It's Bob Kaufman, who unsurprisingly is Black, and that probably has a lot to do with why he's less known. And it's called Believe, Believe. Believe in this, young apple seeds in blue skies radiating young breast, not in blue suited insects infesting society's garments. Believe in the swinging sounds of jazz, tearing the night into intricate shreds, putting it back together again in cool, logical patterns, not in the sick controllers who created only the bomb. Let the voices of dead poets ring louder in your ears than the screeched mouths in mildewed editorials. Listen to the music of centuries rising above the mushroom time. Okay, thank y'all very much. Always such a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you as always, Mike, for kicking things off and always poignant in the pieces and the cover poems. Again, so I mentioned the cover poems. It's just something we do here. Uh, if you want to give a tribute to someone, you can do someone else's poem. Just obviously give credit, right? Okay, so we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep this brief in between so we can keep going. We're gonna come back to El Paso, where we have Robin Schofield up next, who's just one of our, I would say, one of our literary leaders in the community that a lot of us look up to. Robin, take it away when you have a chance. Happy Monday.
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. And let's see, I'm going to read some things that are, well, one I revised today, but the whole entire poem is about, I guess, 9 months old. And I wrote it when I went to Tempe, Arizona. So I was on the campus there. New war, old war. Red and white geraniums mesmerize blue orchard bees circling white alyssum. I hear the students shout in protest of the new war and the ancient grudges. Why can't there be peace anywhere on earth as in this busy garden? I have a feeling that the sky is on fire. So that was short, but cheery, right? Okay, so this one I wrote in a workshop in England 2 years ago. So I didn't really revise it very much today. Spinoza's words fail him. So the crow flew too close to the sun and scorched his voice. He croaks and doesn't sing like the melodious blackbird. Old earth, newly green fields out of which God and his attributes and a hawk arise. Sun streaking him, huge sun, minute globes in the dark forest, proportion and geometry, slowly rotates. We also swirl in our madness for axiomatic proofs we don't feel. The title of my essay was Blood in the Garden, Rejecting Duality, the Many and the One, to make sense of the miscarriages. What rational, intelligible order, except that the midges float over the flocks. Their green blood is the logos, God and nature entwined. The newly planted wheat, white root and green leaf, the two sides. The green man with his mason's face as the material enters the spirit. The green and yellow meadow grounds my metaphysic. I am black blood and white bone, the duality incarnate. Is there a blackbird singing now? May I lie fallow for a long while in pantheistic nature. Rain clouds will follow me. I have seeds in me. I drop them, numberless as the foxglove. No individual revelations. Yet I sprout up among the many grapevines from my right hand. Mathematical methods should yield pure truth, growing and growing, all things within God, reaching around a stone column, huge sun glowing. The green man is looking over the priest's shoulder into his holy book. Deliver me as the crow reveals me. Deliver me, sunlit vineyard. So I'm going to send those poems to for part of my writing sample for our residency. Has to be about nature. So I thought those would do it. So I thought I'd just practice them. And then I want to read a cover poem. And I've read this cover poem before, I know, but I can't get over how prescient, how prophetic this poet was. I keep thinking, how did she know? And plus, I've lived 2/3 of my life in the last century, to which she refers. This poem is by Muriel Rukeyser. Poem, I lived in the first century of world wars. I lived in the first century of world wars. Most mornings, I would be more or less insane. The newspapers would arrive with their careless stories. The news would pour out of various devices, interrupted by attempts to sell products to the unseen. I would call my friends on other devices. They would be more or less mad for similar reasons. Slowly, I would get to pen and paper, make my poems for others unseen and unborn. In the day, I would be reminded of those men and women, brave, setting up signals across vast distances, considering a nameless way of living of almost unimagined values. As the lights darkened, as the lights of night brightened, we would try to imagine them, try to find each other, to construct peace, to make love, to reconcile, waking with sleeping, ourselves with each other, ourselves with ourselves. We would try by any means to reach the limits of ourselves, to reach beyond ourselves, to let go the means, to wake. I lived in the first century of these wars. 1968. Muriel Rukeyser, a poet who was also a critic and is very worth looking into if you want to look at a very cool poet. I'll put her name in the chat. And be sure and check out Tumblewords, especially next week. We have a real El Paso star coming into Tumblewords. His name is Danielle Chacon, and he was for a long time he was chair of the creative writing department at UTEP. He may still be. But he's written a number of books, and his latest is The Last Philosopher in Texas. And it should be really cool. He's a very creative, funny guy. So that's 1 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturdays. All right. Thanks, Richie. Back to you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for sharing those poems. Robin Schofield, everyone. Again, one of many commercials you hear today for Kemble Words. And yeah, shout out to Daniel Chacon. I think he was asked to be chair again of the creative writing department. Can't remember right now. But yeah, Last Philosopher in Texas, that was a great plug. I think one of the pieces that started that was part of our pandemic chapbook that we made called Life in the Time. All right, let's go and keep going. We're going to go ahead and move to South Euclid, Ohio, and check in with a double poet laureate. That's right. It's time for Doc Janning on the docket. Doc, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome back. Happy Monday.
Yeah, what's up? The ceiling is up. Just having to struggle a bit today. This is Poet Messenger. I'm a poet, a messenger of time, a teller of tales of landscapes and of inscapes beyond imagination. I speak gnosis, a knowledge beyond, of things mystical and spiritual, and of everywhere and every when. I travel, a conveyor of dreams, bringing visions of yet to be and wisdom of eras and ages long gone. I teach those who seek how to free their words and sing the songs of emotion. And I know my own lacks, my own wants and needs, and I learn from messages carried by others. And this is the voice. In a dream that I know, a voice does call my name. And though tempest tossed, in life I play the game. Though through times good and bad, I will always have a choice. To find what I need, I listen to my inner voice. From my darkness I do run through the shadows of the night, to find I am always, always fleeing from my memories. Though I cry from my pain, I've no tears to set me free. I search within for my voice to try to set me free. I run from shadows of what was. I never, never will be free. I am lost and forever alone, and seeking ever for my home. In my genes, in my soul, all my pasts are written there in age-old pain. Across eons, eras, and ages, I seek my one, my guiding flame. I'm never free, though I want to be, and only live in fantasy. And in my dreams at night, a world where I long to be. And in my dreams at night, a world where I long to be. And in my dreams at night, a world where I long to be. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Doc. And the whisper there at the end. Wow. That one was some ASMR. Got anything shows or anything you want to promote really quick? How can people find you online?
Nothing right now. I'll throw my book in the chat though.
Throw it. All right, watch out. Duck. All right. I can't help it. All right. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it as always for joining us on this Monday. As you mentioned, he does have a book, so that link we can share. Once again, thanks for tuning into our online mic. We got more peeps. So let's go ahead and continue on. And again, we're traveling like that in a snap, in an instant, thanks to the technology. So we're going to go from Ohio to New Jersey. That's right. She's also has her book published. I'll let her talk about that and share that link later. But we have the Chameleon Poetic next up on the mic. So Terry, when you are ready, let me know and we can get you on the screen. Once again, if you're just joining us, check out the live chat and hang out there. And there's instructions on the Tejano passport. Right. So if you guys need that from the EPCC. So Terry, do we have you in the room? Because sometimes people step away. I gotta check first. So okay, but doing a check right now. We got Ed in the house. What's up, Ed? We got Ed Poetastic. We got we got Swaggy up next. He's making a debut, so we're excited for that. In fact, we may have to just skip to him because I don't know if Terry's here at the moment. And that a lot of it's just doing this live. People are making dinner or get a phone call. Stuff happens, so it's hard to tell. Okay, we have Lara Lynette in the live chat. Cool. Lara made her awesome return home this past Friday at Craft Rhythm and Brews. That was super fun. Um, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I think we're gonna go ahead and go on to our next performer and then come back to Chameleon Poetic because make sure she's here. We'll send the message, but we do have a debut. They've signed up before, but we finally get to see it happen. We're gonna have some poetry with some music. I really do hope we get the music at the end. Joining us from Charleston, South Carolina, we've got a Swaggy, aka Swagatastical. So when you are ready, I'll go ahead and get the spotlight off to you. Good to welcome to the show. When you're ready, go and take it away.
Appreciate you, Richie. As I mentioned before, excuse me, this is my first time here. Hopefully it won't be my last time. And it's a pleasure to be with you guys tonight. This is indeed my debut, and I do have a poem to share. This poem is actually, I guess I don't want to say it's about my birthday, but it's, pertaining to my birthday, which I celebrated last month. And I find this poem to be really, really inspirational. Just reflecting on my personal life and everything. So yeah, if you guys could just bear with me for 1 second. Let me share my screen. Okay, so it's not letting me share my screen.
All right, you should be able to now.
I don't see screen option. I see everything else except screen.
That's a new one. Okay, I enabled it. Let me see if I have to do anything else.
Yeah, because I'm seeing OneDrive, Google Drive, Box, Photo, Document, etc.
Oh, I think you push one of those, whatever your file is on, or whatever you're gonna use.
Oh, is that what I forgot to do in the sign up?
No. You should be able to. You're gonna share like the poem, or
Yeah, I was gonna share I was gonna share the poem, but but like screen share it because like there's some images that go with it.
oh, interesting. But the share button is just not there.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
That's a new one. I wonder. Shoot, I don't know about that one. Are you and you're on your phone?
Yeah, I am on my phone. I mean, I mean,
We
I could do the poem without the screen share.
I wouldn't want you to have to because it sounds like it's a cool part of the and a cool addition. Maybe we can try some troubleshooting, or maybe you have to like join in to get the share button or something. Because
Um,
you've done this at other mics before, right?
I have, yes.
Oh man, okay. Then it might be a setting that I have here. It's available now, so maybe shoot, that's a new one.
Have you ever like given your attendees like an option to share the screen before?
Oh yeah, people
Yeah, we
share.
have.
Yeah, people share all the time.
Okay.
So you press share and it's asking you for like a file format is what's happening basically. It's not telling you to
Yeah.
like what screen to look at, or
Well, no, it has all the other options except screen. I see Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, box, photo, document, URL, bookmark, camera, but usually it would say screen on there.
right.
And yeah, for some reason it's not showing up on my end.
Well, I mean, it's also something you have in file form, so you can go to where it is in documents and
What? I tell you what, while I try my best to pull this up, if you guys want to, we could see if Terry is back while I try
Yeah.
to get this up.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that
Alright.
because I was using this opportunity to look at my Zoom settings.
And you
Does
don't
it?
see anything?
Well, I mean, I'm on desktop, so I see the share button. But I mean, if everyone else in the Zoom call, if you guys can check, if you guys have access to it, maybe I was going through the share settings. Anyway, is Terry here? We got Chameleon Poetic back. All right. Well, we figured that out. I want to give a shout out again to Lara and Sandy. We're having conversations about being horizontal in the live chat. That just sounds so funny out of the context, but it's thanks for joining in. Yeah. I know you got to rest too. So no Terry yet. Let me message her. Hello. Okay. Check it out. Check it out. So maybe because I had it disabled at first, and I guess that's just a security thing. And I mean, but it's enabled for peeps. Oh man, you guys are having a funny conversation in the live chat. Um, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. Here, I'm gonna read a. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay,
Well, we got
so
we got.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. What's up?
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send you since I can't do it on my phone, I don't know if I don't know if your computer is going to allow you to do it, but I'm gonna send you my damn it, my URL,
Okay.
and then hold on. Please forgive me, you guys. This
No,
is one of those
that's
weird nights.
oh wait, that's
yeah, we're seeing your screen now.
yeah, your screen is being shared.
Okay, that's
Right. Everyone close your
that's
eyes while I
because
put this password in.
yeah, that's because I'm using I did web URL and I just copied and paste my URL, which I've never done before, but you know,
Okay,
what the heck.
okay. Hold on. Yeah. Don't let us see the password.
Ah, shoot. Got it.
Let me see. Can you? Is there a way for you to log in first and then get back to the? No, you can't. Okay.
No, I
Here, let
can't.
me do this.
Okay, okay. How the heck?
See, how
Why
can we
do
do?
I get
This
out
is
of
new
this?
territory. Interesting.
Richie, can you just
Oh,
highlight yourself for a second so that nobody can
It's,
see this thing?
but that's not how the share screen stuff works.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, share screen
Yeah,
overrides that. He is still spotlighted, but he's off to the side.
how do you? Hang on.
yeah. That's unique. It's a
I'm trying to
unique
see how you
one.
get back to the Zoom thingamajiggy. Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm still spotlighted actually. So it was overridden by the screen share. Uh,
I
We're
hate to
almost
say it.
we're so close. It's so weird. Anyway,
Well, I tell you what, Richie, just for the night, how about I just do it without the screen share, and
okay,
then
cool.
hopefully next week, shit will be back to normal.
Yeah, that's perfect. We can even troubleshoot a little later, you know, when we're done. But go ahead and do your thing here. Let me spotlight you.
Yeah, because I
Uh,
don't want to waste anybody else's time unless I'm getting sleepy myself. So
for sure. All right,
yeah,
let's get you on here.
yeah. So my poem that I was gonna share tonight is called "Another Trip Up the 29th Floor." And again, this is a poem that is, I guess, pertaining to my birthday, which I celebrated last month. So here we go. I spent my entire 20s on this elevator, waiting for it now, hoping to write it later, pressing buttons all of a sudden, like Joe Budden. I pump it up, but this time I had to pump the brakes to give myself the time of day to find mistakes and climb my way out of this pettiness that no longer could be tolerable. So I promise not to have this poem fishy for Richie, but really quickly, let me first give God glory. And now, here's a backstory of what my 20s did for me. Opportunities were plenty at 20. I was a college hardcore sophomore at the chalkboard, learning a lot more of how to reach the top floor, but I was stuck at a red light waiting for it to turn green. Like the frog Kermit, 20 years old when I got my beginner's permit, worked hard, studied hard, and I earned it. No way could I deprive learning how to drive while going live, but it was 5:15 when I tried alcohol for the first time. It took me out faster than a baseball game. Nothing was the same after tasting the flame of what came with drinking that shit. But I wasn't done. Even at 21, I was at the legal age for alcohol consumption. At 21, I wanted to hit the jackpot. My dreams were so big that I thought I hit the caps lock, representing like a mascot. Let me take a snapshot, but that's not all I had to capture from the rapture that fractured my mind into believing that the best was yet to come. I couldn't wait to catch 22 out of the blue. The ball wasn't always in my court, so I had to deport to this sort of foul that had me at the line, but in no time could I nail my free throw. Still, I had the green in me like CeeLo. I was entering my Jordan year at 23. Then I realized I wasn't the jump man. I wasn't the front man. Instead, I was the one everybody wanted to dump, man. Living poor at 24, I had many more of those moments. Working at a restaurant with minimal tips, my mental health was fucked, so I took me some sips, barely trying to fake it, praying that I make it. I just couldn't take it. I had to leave, even though I didn't rake it. And at 25, I wanted to be a baller, carrying 4 quarters of my life like change for $1. Matter of fact, bump that. Because if I truly wanted that cat, I could have smashed and had me a daughter. But why slaughter for that water when I had other chicks at 26? Probably because I wasn't thinking quick. My head was hard, but not harder than the ground I was sleeping on. Asking money from people who they thought I was creeping on. Homeless and broke. It wasn't a joke. Sitting at tables, taking some notes, reflecting on my personal life with no mirror. I'm seeing me, people living rent free in my head like Airbnb. I'm waiting in line at the DMV. No, I'm waiting in line for my ID at the DMV. However, being locked out of heaven at 27 was not my goal. Trying to fix other people's issues was out of my control. What's the matter? I was constantly shattered, brutally battered by folks who cared less if I made them flattered. Going to church and asking for mercy. I was hungry for God, but deep down I was thirsty, like getting drunk at 28. But it wasn't too late. Getting tipsy off of some whiskey, depression arrived and then it missed me. I felt like a heathen in the Garden of Eden. I spent hours like Martina Powers looking for my flowers, wishing they smelled good as me coming out the shower. Even shampoo and conditioner couldn't moisturize what was dirty all along. I had it all wrong. I thought 28 was the hook to my newest song. Now I'm 29, feeling fine, ready to dine with some strawberry wine. I made up my mind to look behind and say deuces to whatever doesn't offer me time. Most of my old friends have all racked my nerves, but at 29, I won't settle for anything less than what I deserve. Let's be clear. I'll be turning 30 next year, which really appears to be drawing near. Meanwhile, I'm facing the fear of how to volunteer my time to things that make me cheer, not things that interfere with my premiere of this episode filled with tears that erupt from my eyes like Mount Rainier, which are not queer but truly sincere, as if the gift of crime was a souvenir. What's more severe is that my career never made it into the atmosphere. Even in dark times, I still shine like a chandelier and left the haters alone who use me like puppeteers. But I persevere, my dear, with a couple of my peers, and I'm paying them attention without seeing a cashier. They're all in their 30s commenting in my ear saying, "Don't worry, Warren. It just gets better from here." Boom.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Thank you for that. I mean, it still worked without the visuals. You know, the writing held up. Hey, how can people follow and support you online if you want to share that info?
Stay tuned in the chat section. I'll drop my socials below.
All right, perfect. Thanks for joining us, and we're gonna troubleshoot that way. So next time we can get the share screen for you. So that was swagtastical, swaggy. Appreciate having you, Charleston, South Carolina. Also, I appreciate that you're out there performing um outside. You know, if I didn't have this whole setup here with the webcam and lights and stuff, I love to be out of my backyard, you know, maybe one of these days. I'd probably annoy my neighbors though, and hosting and emceeing and yelling into a mic. So I got to keep that in mind. Anyway, we're gonna go and keep this night going again. Once again, welcome to the online mic. We do have a space, so if you guys want to join us, if you're on YouTube, if you want to sign up to perform, the link to sign up is in the description. Julie Matthews joined us, so yeah, let's get you on the list as well. Let me update that as soon as I can. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next performer. He's already been shouted out a couple times, as always. But before he even gets here, Mr. Monday Night, again, he's going to be hosting Thursday. Let's go and bring up to the show Kit Ren. Kit.
Hi, thank you, Richie. Good evening, everyone. You've already heard my voice because of my failed troubleshooting. Thank you very much for joining us, Swagtastical. Thank you to everyone out there in the future watching us. Gonna do two of mine and then the cover poem. Gonna do some old ones that I haven't done in a long time. I turn in my thoughts to the young woman in North Carolina who got someone else's words tattooed on her forearm. No sin in a vacuum. In fact, a commonplace occurrence, but she claimed the words as her own. When she came across a certain poem, she really liked the phrase. Something about spitting teeth into a sink. She took to it. She thought it was a metaphor. It became a metaphor in her submission and under her skin. But like a toy collector, she kept it in its original packaging, which made it easy for the presumably veneered original poet to note and prosecute the theft. In the interest of full disclosure, I too have had a recent incident involving the literal spitting of a broken tooth into a functioning but not pristine sink. But that was my own fault. The cresting of a new century of bad habits, so it doesn't have the emotional resonance I need for it to be useful imagery. I'm sure you agree. I have some brotherly advice for the young woman from North Carolina. If you must steal, if you cannot refrain from it, Choose something more useful than trauma to take. I don't know. Take a bicycle. Take something you can enjoy. Go to the Target, to the large canisters jelly beans, proprietary and possibly literal flavors. Dr. Pepper jelly beans, recursive sins dreamed by the candy floss devil. Slowly trigger the release lever. Let between 8 and 12 lumps of sugar fall noiselessly into your hand and shove them down your gullet like the contraband they technically are. Repeat as needed. I go to the Target now and see the jelly beans in their unsatisfactory plastic packaging of, at an eyeball guess, about 2.5 servings. And I know that I had made a difference in the world. I had to leave that life behind me. I reached a breaking point, and then a broken point, and then the swell in my heart from my bite-sized theft migrated through my gums. I'm sorry for making this about myself, young woman from North Carolina, and I want you to please believe me when I say that I mean no harm. I am not here to quote tweet you dismissively for street cred, pushing down on the social media Skinner box for my treat. But if you're really intent on spitting teeth, and if you now share everyone else's distrust of you around metaphor, follow the path I have paved. We'll have you in the big chair soon enough, under the eyes of a paternal and forgiving dentist, scraping the rot off the way prayer is supposed to. And another one I haven't read in a while. Published in Barrio Panther, which is a little outfit that Carlos Fidel Espinosa runs, coming soon to Tumbleworks. I have a confession disguised as a question. Has the desert spoiled all other outdoor settings for you too? Do forests seem to you a claustrophobic compromise between the indoors and the outdoors, unsatisfying, as most compromises are? How can this actually be outside if I can't see the entire sky? Does the ocean seem showy and excessive, gaudy like plastic jewelry on an otherwise fine hand? To have all this undrinkable water feels like someone made a mistake, but didn't care enough to correct it. We are a dry land, but what we find is potable. Did the hill country underwhelm you too? Were you tempted to laugh at all the hill people who went around instead of over and through? They would think us mad, but I'll never make the mistake of caring what they think again. Does every green field, no matter how wild, take on the manicured unreality of a golf course? I am tired, friend, of this world of driving ranges. You and I will spread our picnic blanket in the sand trap and throw back every Titleist that blunders in. And for tonight's cover poem, one I haven't done by a poet I've done before, by Timothy Donnelly. This is By Night with Torch and Spear. That fire at the mouth of the flare stack, rising more than 300 feet above the refinery, contorts as it feeds on the invisible current of methane produced by the oil's distillation process. Like a monster, the nonstop spasm of it lumbering upwards into the dark Newark night, like a sack made of orange parachute fabric. An awkward number of gorillas get it on in. I would worship it. The motion, the heat, the unapologetic knack of the element to yank the appliance plug from its outlet, filling the big blue business suite of my head with nothing but its own wordlessness and light. Not now, not knowing what I can't unknow, but back on the grasslands before we ever came to harness it, I would bow down among the seething life of that primitive interior and worship the fire, taking one bright liberty after another, done listening to fellow passengers twinking the fine points, done rubbing the dead end of thinking like a spent torch against the cave's painted walls to make it burn better. As the train slows down, as the track curves around the body of water the fire reflects in, it is a form of worship. What is it in me that hasn't yet been killed with reason, habit, through long atrophy, or copied so far beyond its master it parses like the last will and testament of a moth-eaten carpet? It dumps its nice adrenaline into my system. Nights I hear the crisp steps of deer on fallen leaves and stop, or when looking up beneath baroque snow, or when I lean over the banister along the border of a strong waterfall. All good and well. The endless, hyperactive plumage exploding from this toxic aviary, this son of industry, descended from the lightning strike, obscures its diabolism with a vaguest brightness so that what there is to fear in it instead excites me up a biochemical peak from the far side of which my own voice, grizzled with a wisdom unknown to me in waking life, reminds me of the conjurer who grew distraught because he sensed the forces he had stirred up with his art would not be mastered by it. It rattles tomorrow's paperwork where it hangs from the branches of the ancient timber trees. It messes with my reception, whereas I do not wish my reception to be messed with. It tells me to be careful with my worship, that if this too is a resource, then they have ways to tap it. All right. You can find me on Instagram at KitRenaway. You get it? You get it. And the Tumblewords projects will tumble ever onwards this Saturday with Danielle Chacon. Very excited to have a favorite and native son hosting Tumblewords, promoting his new book of short stories. He has, I think it's one novel in 3 collections or 2 collections, but he's got a lot. He's the former chair of the English department, and maybe again, I'm not sure. And I'm just real excited that he agreed to join us at Tumblewords this Saturday at 1 o'clock. You can message me on social media, get the info for that, get in our little Zoom room. A lot like this one. Not better, not worse, but different. And I will be hosting at Old Sheepdog this Thursday. And I think that's all that I have to announce at the moment. So we'll kick it back to your host for tonight, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Kit. Awesome. Thanks for those announcements. Again, if you guys want to get some writing done, definitely worth looking into. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I muted myself on my headphones. Just a second here. Okay. Once again, welcome to our online mic. We got some more performers. So right now we're going to go ahead and go to Canada and Ontario and welcome Cassie back to the show. Cassie's been a regular and I love it that way. Cassie, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Richie. Okay, hello everyone. A little bit disorganized tonight, but I believe I have these lined up here. This first poem is tentatively titled, which you don't need to know, but it's fine. It's tentatively titled, Familiar Weeds. Doubt, why must you torment me? I am told to embrace you, to accept you walking alongside me, that you are not the enemy, that you are a valuable conversation partner to bring with me through life. But when I pay great mind to you, you grow taller, larger, you tower over me, threaten to take over this garden. The more I give you my attention, the more you spread your seed at an uncontrollable rate. The earth below my feet becomes riddled with your prickle bushes. When I walk through my inner garden, I check on the growth that I long to take over. I search for tall, vibrant flowers of certainty, their sight so comforting, assuring. I can't help but want after their scent. Oh, doubt, I see your value. There is a reason you keep catching my eye. To maintain this garden, to leave room for other essential greenery, I must learn to slow your takeover, your invasion, to walk amongst strong stalks and fresh, nourishing leaves. To collect the fruits of my internal labor, I must learn to step around you, or to at least learn how to remove your thorns from my tender feet. All right. And I have a second poem here of mine that I'm going to read. Also very new and tentatively titled, Reasons for Staying. To repeat the same mistakes and learn that you are in good company in doing so. To learn from your mistakes and find new ones to take their place. To share the wins, yours, those of others. To share the losses, yours, those of others. To breathe so deeply and so deliberately in a temperate, still summer evening by the lake that you notice the way the bugs dance over the water, and when your noticing is chased by a feeling of unease, born out of what the dance reminds you of, a likeness, one which you manage to swat away, you have a clear view of the edge of the rock in front of you on the shore, clear enough for you to notice that they remind you of nothing, and suddenly there are no more thoughts. There is no more likeness in need of swatting away, just moments of noticing salient enough that you become sure that that particular breeze, those 6 square inches of grass beneath your still feet, that carefree crest of waves, and you are all right where you are supposed to be, crossing paths for a single seamless moment. Okay, so that's my very cheesy poem. And I have one cover poem that I'm going to read. It has a very different mood, I think. Let me just see here. There's 2 I was trying to decide between. Okay. I think I'm gonna stick with the mood. Okay, so this poem is called Before I Leave Here by Sierra de Mulder. Hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Usually check before I read poems, but I did not today. Okay. So Before I Leave Here by I sit in the sand and begin to cry. I cannot tell if it's the wind, a cold tongue feathering my cheek, or just the endlessness of her, the ocean, frothy and emotional. Tomorrow I will get on a plane that will fly through the clouds and time, our path drawing a crown on the globe, a child's sticky finger flipping over the page to reveal the next bold chapter. I do not fear change, but I am quieted by it. As I stare into the face of so much movement, the ocean both swaddles and mocks me, waves its motherly finger at me as if to say, you know nothing about the moon. But I too have marched for a drummer I have not seen. I lie back in the sand and let the water churn at my feet. I will never be as I was today. Okay, so that's what I have for poetry tonight. If you are curious to read more of my poetry, I very infrequently share poetry on my Instagram at Relentless Intrigue, and I also occasionally facilitate online generative poetry workshops. If you're curious, like to attend those at all or curious about them, I will have updates on my Instagram when those are coming up. Okay, thank you, Richie.
I was talking to myself, super muted. My bad. No, just awesome set as always. Love the originals. That cover, damn, some of those lines were hitting. It also happened that I was eating a quesadilla, so the cheesiness worked perfectly. It was right where it needed to be. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue. And we're gonna go to Malaysia up next because we have Julian Matthews once again on the show. Share screen should already be available. So Julian, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Good to see you.
Hey, yeah, okay. Uh, uh, Pluto. Remember how they took out dear Pluto? It was there embedded in memory, one of the 9 planets. You didn't need a mnemonic to remember it. You couldn't remember the names of the 7 dwarfs or even the colors of the rainbow in order. But the planet somehow came easy, and Pluto was the easiest. Perhaps because it was the name of a Greek god, and Mickey's silent dog. Or maybe it's smallness, being out there, the furthest away, something you cared for, just because. But now, demoted, labeled a dwarf, and the cruelest insult of all, reduced to a mere number, 134340, like a tattoo on the arm, gulagged, made anonymous, remote, like being unfriended, blocked, privated. I'm distant, unreachable, a ghost. But even ghosts have a way of always showing up when you least expect it. Ethereal, luminous, twinkling in the dark, maybe even winking, orbiting your world like a celestial body whose name you always knew, could never forget, and spinning, always spinning. And thank you. The second poem is called Fireflies. Once on a boat in Kampong Kwantan, I tried to snap photos of their iridescent display. Like a fool, I pointed my Canon flash gun on auto and clicked. The night boomed with light, and the rocking beetles went silent, momentarily stunned. A dramatic pause to their flickering show as if the big one had come. Then the twinkling started up again, more fervent and vigorous than before, furious, pulsating pulsars of impulses, scintillas of scintillating starbursts, fun-size drops of Venus, the courting of the self-illuminating, blinking and winking, the swinging before the swinging, we sparklers writing lit scripts in the night sky, old-fashioned, classic rom-com storytellers, teensy-weensy starers in their own tiny movies, where the spurned hero eventually gets the gal, or vice versa. The flash and dash before the kiss and tell, the song and dance before the bait and switch, on off, on off, on off, click, click, double click, and they're off. Unbottled longings, unbridled release, such sublime moments in time, now merely fireflies in my mind. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. As always, thank you, Julian, for jumping on and sharing some of your poems. A lot of love in the live chat in your poems. Sandy, Stephen. By the way, shout out to Stephen Molina. Good to see you, man. I know I already wrote it in the live chat, but it's always great seeing you. It's been a while, man. Stephen used to go to the open mics way more often back in the day at the Black Orchid Lounge. Awesome singer and songwriter. So hey, if you're still in the area, come on through. We got a couple this week. But yeah, hit me up. We got to catch up anyway. Okay, thank you, Julian. Once again, out of Malaysia. I always like the format, getting to also read the poems as you read them out loud. That's really helpful. All right. We have four more performers signed up at this moment. So right now we're going to come back to the US. In fact, might as well stop at the capital, Washington, D.C., where we have some jokes and poems from our one and only Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, hopefully you're here with us so we can get you on, Ed. When you're ready, I'll go ahead and get you on the screen here. And while Ed gets ready, we also have Zach and George right after that. All right. Oh, hold on. Eddie's getting back into the room. So there might be a Wi-Fi thing going on. Mr. Edward Foreman. That's so so formal. All right, Eddie, when you're ready. Eddie. Ed, when you're ready, man, go and take it away.
I'm sorry about that. My cable came out of my computer, my mistake. But thank you so much. My name is Ed Potasso, Fantastic. Please take the time to join my rhyme for Sublime. I got 10 jokes and 2 short poems and 2 other poems, so I won't take too much time. The first joke is, did you hear about the 2 rowboats that got into an argument? It was an oral deal. What kind of underpants do lawyers wear? Briefs. What do you call it when a cow grows facial hair? A moustache. Did you hear about the cleaners who went into space? They ended up scrubbing the mission. How do you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it. Why did the rabbit go to the salon? It was having a bad hair day. Where do birds stay when they travel? Someplace cheap. What should you do if your puppy isn't feeling well? Take him or her to the doctor. Why can't leopards play hide and seek? Because they're always spotted. Why did the man bring his watch to the bank? He wanted to save time. Hope you enjoy those jokes for you folks. This wonderful poem came from Tubble Words. The person who was featured in this wonderful workshop was Tanish. This is called Chocolate Gold. My grandmother gave me chocolates. They're chocolate coins. Tell me balance inner hate to restore me to the boys. She knew I was beaten and bruised. She always hugs me with a smile. It always changed my gloomy mood. Chocolate sweetened my bitter style. When I say I love chocolate, you all know why. No matter the biggest or smallest, chocolate always brightens my sky. Chocolate in everything is a surprise. I know some people don't like it, but for me, it's quite the prize. I eat it bit by bit in my pit. I can, I can't see her anymore, but we both have the memories. Chocolate fuels our cores. Love you, Grandma, with deep love and sympathy. Thank you. This other one, short one, is called "Life is a Tree." Both came from Tumblrs. Life is a tree with many different leaves. Life is a box of chocolate, bitter to the tongue, but sweet on the lips. Life is chess, the strategy for the progress of success. Life is a book. Pages give us a shook or a hook. Life is a garden, blossoming flowers over again. Life is a puzzle, putting it all together with a struggle. Life is a bird, giving us songs, eggs, or turds. Life is poetry, an inner bittersweet symphony. Life is a movie, playing as horror, suspense, drama, or a thing of beauty. Life is you, trying to do the best only you can do. Thank you. This other one is called Drunken Fish. Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns in the beer, chasing my blues away, and I'll be okay. Well, I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. Oh, I got friends in low places. Please drink responsibly before you hurt your man or sweetie. Please don't get pulled over by a wrong hangover. Please know your limits before reality hits. This is called the drunken fish. A cup of Henny to make me sing like Whitney, a cup of wine to make me feel fine, a cup of beer to put me into joyful tears, a cup of Guinness to put me in a stage of bliss, a cup of Blue Moon to turn me into a balloon, a cup of Bud Light to make me feel all right, a glass of Martini to make me feel like Bond, sweetie, a cup of Pina Colada to make me feel the beast drama, a glass of Grasshopper to make me feel like a show starter, a cup of Bloody Mary to make me feel like Dracula Scary, a cup of lager to make me feel a bit hotter, a cup of ale to make me straighten my sail, a cup of Samuel Adams, oh, that was random, a cup of porter to make me feel in order, a cup of strout to make me hungry for trout, a cup of mead to make me loose like weed, a cup of Angry Orchard to make me put 1 foot forward, a cup of Corona to make me sing my Sharona, a cup of Budweiser to make me get much higher, a couple of Dustuckies to make me feel at ease. If you don't drink, it's okay. Too much to drink, you can't think. Enjoy your days. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I drunk them all. It was college. The bottle were singing. I was answering the call. I'm not a pushover. Oh God, here comes the hangovers. Thank you. My last piece is called Sympathy of Poetry. Poetry is lively than sunflower rose, while any explanation or logic goes. The sweet sympathy of pure creativity, so appreciate the effects and the sensitivity. Sharp words far straight to the heart, rain down through skies of vital art. Each word is covered in emotions, like fishes dancing in a clear ocean. Seeding a bouquet of colorful flowers, blossoming in a magnificent array of power. Writing and reading like dancing and singing. The parade of words is only the beginning. Notebooks telling us into a literary world pages jumping off insightful and delightful spirals, shared by concrete or imaginative minds, lessons growing very personal design. The pleasure of constant desirable writing, the palace of free verse, limerick, haiku, or rhyming, reinventing tales of new, personal, and old, polishing them to shine like luminous gold. Oh, poetry, you allure me with your verbal melody, ears full of worldly fireworks of complete harmony, the lines sewing this ugly yet beautiful universe, fluent words of true verse going straight on course. Please downpour us a radiant sight of weather. Chart us till we're redder or feel even better. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it as always jumping in the jokes and the poems. How can people follow and support you online?
Sure, you can follow me, support me online if you want to unwind at this wonderful, wonderful, stupendous, majestic, fantastic open mic, aka BWOMS. Please come to this open mic that makes our Monday night in such a delight in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, if you want to follow me, please for free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman92. And remember, if the mic's right, I'll be there to shine my fantastic insight. If you see me request, you take guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Never stop spewing the one words inside your chest. Never stop feeling and being and doing your best. Remember, you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never ever stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show.
All right. Thank you again, Ed. Love the outro as always and the energy. As I mentioned, once again, if you guys are here for the EPCC, the Tejano passport info, you can check the live chat. You can also shoot me a message. I teach at the college. You can just look up my name right there. Shoot me an email asking for the Tejano passport. We're gonna go ahead and continue. We've got a couple more poems and poets left. I don't know why I said it like that, but we're gonna go ahead and visit our friends in New Mexico, and they're in the same room. So back to back performers. I didn't realize that. So we're gonna go ahead and start things off with George, who is joining us in with Zach. So George, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. If you want to unmute and turn on the video. All right, this is George. Everyone, welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you. F-150 cruising, their songs, but really I'm showing it's all about my flow. Embodied by tunes, 3-minute muse, a melody on drive. Stereo system, not important to me. New music moment will arrive. Who cares if never heard? Privilege, press a button, hear a file, dance for a while. Maybe we need to take time and go back. Throw it back, pump the jam, classic throwbacks. Rewind cassettes, playing records, hardware, car radio, a radio called car. But I am 15, just little me, walking into a government building. Becoming a man, but at the DMV, MVD, I'm standing in line with hands in my pants. Like mean lunch lady, slapping sloppy joes, repeating processes set by the man. Well, goddamn. Everyone wishes that 2 fucks were given. Give it a rest. It's USA's best. Never would have thought that cars could be homes and save places and saved lives and cheated life encapsulated and somehow created best moments alive. It's also hard to think humans with a chance, the biggest distinction, life, death, no thought, no predisposition. But then there's drinking, smoking, sex, meds, and accidents, and everything in between. Worst results, defined state rules, real insult, out with a bang. At least I hope you're going 90, a sunrise radiating, out like a baller. Dim-witted, now quitted, consequence. Enough about that. Back on track, a road. My parents are wild, and they can drive for miles and miles. Backseat movie, snacks and pillows, seeds, sunflowers, corn on horizon. Quick to keep steady, they shift into gear, drive by the river, island park, Elkhart City, city with a heart. Island looks like an elk's heart. Top record, 46 hours, cross-country trip, road upon road. State lines gone across, snoring and taking naps. A hub, a capsule, transporting family values. Each one, every model, roaring engine, an end goal, destination. No one knows, being passed, where the rabbit ends at. No one knows, road rage diffused.
Did you have more, or was that one? Oh, I like the setup there you got going on. It's almost like now you have two people. It's like it's a mic inside a mic. It's a micception. All right, but actually, Zach, you're up next. So as soon as you are ready, we'll kind of keep you on. And by the way, it sounds great.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I tried. We had to do a scene change. And well, I have two if you don't mind.
That's
I don't think
perfect.
yeah, let's see. Sorry, I think some folks have heard it before, but I'll try to read it better maybe this time. All right. Tire swing, rope around an old tree, see kid feet dangling. Almost look like a breeze swaying. Back and forth, walk up, no acknowledgement, avoids eye contact, shoes untied. Ignores me, could have been a ghost. Kid looks tired, looks forlorn. Maybe 12 or 13, his eyes look about 44. Dirty blonde hair, sad disposition. Hey kid, what went wrong? Too young to be so sad. Many miles of road still ahead. Boy raises his eyes, looks directly in mine. Shoes are dirty, eyes been crying, wet like field after a summer rain. Are you okay? No, I've been abandoned. Boy spoke with shame, like everything was his fault. I lost everyone I ever loved. I don't have anywhere to go. My heart is lost. I don't have a home. Could barely speak, but I found words. No, you must have a mom and pa. Oh, they left a long time ago. Hell, you believe in God, kid? Looked down at his dirty shoes, rolled a pebble under his toe. Well, I don't believe in anything anymore, especially not a magic man who doesn't show up for a boy in distress. I was abandoned, first day of life. Only person I depend on is myself. Blonde hair and blue eyes. All this pain made me strong. At least that's what people tell me. I don't trust anyone anymore, not the Bible or a Judge Gavel. Well, this little boy been through a lot. Can tell by look in eyes he's cold and dark. Been discarded. All those people should have, but weren't there. He developed calluses, heart probably covered in scars. Adverse to people in love, this boy had less love than a stray dog. Look for words, maybe encouragement. It's got to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, it can't be so bad. You don't have to look back. Well, can't trust nobody that says they love. Not even kisses and hugs. Hidden behind a smile is just sticks and stone. If they don't hurt my bones, they should stab me in the heart. Well, I can't talk to Pan no more. There's no God neither. I depend on myself, and that don't get me far either. All right, I can do it. Beginning of my life, acres, tractors, trucks, apple bin and sprinkler at dusk, pear slices cut by a farmhand pocket knife, middle of day, tailgate, latch flipped, weight of it makes rattled thud. Lunch whistle, signified day half done. Ran and hopped up. It's lunchtime in the back of the work truck. Baseball hat sweaty. Tip it up. Wipe face with shirt. Dad sits down, truck sinks and squeaks a sigh let out. Think to myself, one day I'll be big and strong. Dad, like he's been swimming. Shirt clings to body, white shirt now brown. Don't recall exactly, but it had purple writing. Faded and stretched, probably some free shirt. Charity event. End of day stripped off, straight in the washing machine. No need to report hours. That shirt is proof that man has worked all morning. Probably won't stop till night. Unpacked, couple sandwiches, plastic baggie, store-bought cookies, Chips Ahoy. Old Coors cooler, faded even then, packed by mom, I guess, because if dad made it, it'd be soggy bread. Excess mayo, slices of ham, pre-cut and wrapped, slices of Kraft cheese, or maybe his favorite, bologna and butter spread thick quilt on bed laying on top of a thin mattress. Dad wouldn't have bothered with bag. Probably would throw Chips Ahoy directly in truck. Well, I was trying to be like him. Work till tired, man of word, say kind things and help those in need. Mimic the way, adjust his hat. It's always tilted slightly left. Orange canteen, carried on his back. Now it's leaned up, it's sitting in his lap. Wish I could talk to him how we talked back then. Need advice from that man, not the one carrying years of guilt on an already sore back. The one that I looked up to. Lift the house if he wanted to. Wouldn't quit until he had to. Still wake up next day and yell, rise and shine. About time you get out of bed. More work to do. Up and at him. I would tell him, Dad, modern office, it's not made for men like you. Give me a break. Everything I learned came from long talks after long days of work. Always disappointed I couldn't keep up. Still could sing every Beach Boys song, only cassette in that old truck. Trust me, Dad. I do what you said. Difference is it's all HR, and I don't think you would call any of these guys men. You raised a cowboy. Don't take it back. It's just that society changed. It's not spit and hand and shake. It's lawsuits and HR claims. It's whispers behind closed doors. No one does contracts on the back of napkin anymore. You wouldn't believe it. My boss didn't even pay for lunch. I'm walking around like, dang, I'm not in the orchard anymore. Click old boots twice, take me home, drive that John Deere tractor sitting on your lap, sunset and still irrigation lines to move. Believe me, I'll work hard. Anything better than boring meetings and chugging beer in a bathroom stall.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Zach, George, and Zach. That was cool. Like I said, it was an open mic instead of an open mic because they had the lighting, the mic stand, the microphone, and it sounded great this time around. All right, so thank you guys for making it on. And again, shout out to everyone who was hanging out with us in the live chat. I gotta see. We got Dan up next, but I wanna open up for Dan really quick. We got a poem I wanted to read because I wanted to actually start it off with a piece, but then my intro was so long. I'm like, no, there's no way that I'm gonna read a poem myself. So as always, we do have Dan close it out. So with that said, hold on, I lost my page. I'm always looking for stuff to read here, you know. Um, where is it? Shoot. These are super long. Hey, there's Dan. Speaking of which, right? Um, okay. So I got a couple, like I said. One is I came across it recently and I really like it. It's a short one from Jose Olivares, like the homie in Chicago, Chicano poet out of Chicago. And this one's called Inspiration. The year's first cherry blossoms are just trying to catch some sun. And here you go, poet, making grand proclamations about the cycle of life, saying some wild, corny mess like nature's healing. Nature took a mental health day just like you. Winter is long, and humans aren't the only creatures that suffer from loneliness. All right, so that's from Promises of Gold, Promesas de Oro from Jose Olivares. And then I have this other piece. This is from another book I haven't really read out of. It's from, I do read a lot of Guante. I don't know. I just like reading his pieces. It's a really good way for me to practice. But this is a cool, like, it's an interesting genre. You know, it's like set in the future, kind of sci-fi. It's like humans who've been put out in the future out in the world, and there's robots, and it's like very futuristic, but it's also an opportunity to just talk about art and poetry and writing and resistance. So this one's called Blessing. Every song that made you. Before the performance begins, an elder addresses the people. Friends and neighbors, may your words create movement. May your music find the ear it was made for. May your style have substance and your substance have style. When you battle, you may win. When you lose, you may learn. May your plans come to fruition, and may the spirits guide your improvisation when they do not. May you be humble enough to know that your voice is but one among many, but proud enough to make it heard. May you shine like a star, but contribute to a constellation too. May you love people, even when you don't like them. May the principles you hold live, live. May they extend beyond making sure others know you hold them. May you say the right thing on your way to doing it. May you do the right thing even when it is not the easy thing or the expected thing or the lawful thing. May you hear every song that made you, every poem that spoke you into being, and find harmony in the cacophony. Find a rhythm that will always be with you. May your cipher never stop expanding. So I thought that was a nice tribute to the open mics and just like the online scene. Again, that's Squante, Kyle Tranmari. This is from not a lot of reasons to sing, but enough. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff. It's like almost essay-like, and there's characters, and it's wild. Got to recommend it, like sci-fi and poetry and all that stuff. So, with that said, thank you, Dan, for allowing me the opportunity to open up for you. It is time for our closer, our ender of the night, as always, holding the rhyming dictionary. Let's go and welcome back to the show, Dan the Man.
Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? I know that Saturday night is the fight.
Your audio is a little weird, Dan. Maybe you're
Hello?
far away. There you go. Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? As we may know, Saturday night, once again, fight night. Yep, Stephanie Hahn is gunning for 9-0, still undefeated. Yep, and that's the win. She's keeping the fight. So yep. So let's hope 9-0 will be the light to win the fight. Yeah. And speaking of yeah, and it looks like I'm hoping to walk regular again because yeah, my knee is going haywire. like a deep blue sea, but it's no, but it's, but it's still down low on the key. But yeah, my swollen knee. Yeah, there's like burn. Yeah, there's like it's all of wildfires over the Apache ski. Yep. Yeah, can't you see? But don't let it be. But it looks like some dumb medical fee. Well, there ain't no walking spree. I just want a cup of tea. Yep. Hoping to heal my knee. Hoping because that way I can walk free. So could die down, become home free. But this ain't no, I can come home free. But this ain't no caffeine free or no bumblebee. Yeah, the bee didn't sting me, my knee. Nah, I just woke up with that swollen knee. Well, I woke up with a pain in the knee, became a swollen knee. Well, pardon me, because can't believe my knee just being overseas. Yeah, one stupid shopping spree become a fiddle D in the land of the free. Yeah, hopefully that medicine is the key to heal my knee. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, well, it looks like I have no objective, but just me out of perspective. No retrospective. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, out of perspective. Yep. My 10-year anniversary is a month away. So, well, nothing. Well, have it took me a long time to catch up. I'm not gonna finalize it before the end of July. So therefore, I'm gonna get a head start. So that that's the only part I can do. Yeah, to work the art of my to work the blog of the art. Yeah. Yeah, the art. Yeah. Yeah, so all you need to do is just get a head start, not a false start, even though there's always a change of heart. But, well, could be a mix of a martial art. But 10 years of the 10 years of my blog, I should earn a purple heart. Yeah. So, so I always keep a chart, a log of my blog. Yeah, and that's the start. So, all right. I think sometime next week I'm gonna get a head start on my blog, but it's gonna be a long while. That's the start. Yeah, a couple of the head starts. Thank you. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna be at Rosewood tomorrow, depending on my knee, but I'll see if I could be there Thursday for the Old Sheepdog Brewery because there's some place I gotta attend to on Thursday. So. All right, so I'll keep you guys posted. Okay. All right, guys, and that is it. And oh yeah, and first and hang on, second in the verse, same as the first. Well, we want to wish Vanessa Verse all the best in her future endeavors and in San Antonio. Leave out all the rest. Yeah, it's always Quest. Next chapter is at Quest. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You have a great night. All right, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All righty then. Thanks, Dan. As always, shout out to Steven, Sandy, and everyone else who was kind of hanging out towards the end. Lara too, before I think fell asleep. But as always, it's cool that you checked in. Hopefully by Monday you can join us again. Share some songs. We missed you. It was a real nice surprise to see you on Friday for Vanessa's feature. I did film it, so I'll go over the footage and go over it with Vanessa and see how she wants to edit that because it was a little longer than we expected, but it was fun. Vanessa, yeah, thanks for that, Dan. Uh, Shout out to Vanessa first. All right, cool. So hey, we'll be back next Monday. All right, as always, be on the lookout for the sign up sheet. You can sign up. We do have a link tree where you can subscribe and be notified when we have a new link out. That's on me. I think I forgot to do that this time around, but most of you guys already know how to get us there. Again, shout out to thanks Stephen for being here with us. Of course, Sandy already said good night. As soon as Dan's wrapping it up, to say peace out. So yeah, we're gonna hang out for a little bit as always in the after party. If you guys want to join us, you don't have to be a performer. If we know you, it's a lot easier to let you in. Yeah, see you next time for the open mic. My name is Rich. See you guys hopefully at an in-person open mic. See you guys. Have a good night for the live stream. Peace.